Well, here we are from the cab of my new Freightliner. It's not new, but it's new to me. It's 1999, DEF free, paid for with cash, all at once. The man handed me the title right across the table. After signing about 7 or 8 pieces of paper, I was able to drive away. Scot free. Happy day. But as the title infers, the best laid man, blah, 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 the best laid plans of mice and men. Despite my intentions of wanting to have been done with this within 2 or 3 days, several potential huge roadblocks, I said potential, were overcome, but they still did cost me a lot of time. Unbeknownst to me, I did not have a charger problem with my Sawzall charger. I was using 2 batteries on one charger, rotating, and progress at the beginning of this project was 1 hour charge for each battery, and then about maybe 10 to 15 minutes of playtime with the battery per charge. Now these batteries are starting to overheat, and it's taking me an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes per charge, and I'm getting about 10 minutes per good charge. Luckily I went out and got some better Sawzall blades, which actually extend my battery time by about 30%, so I'm probably getting good 12 minutes out of that. I know that math doesn't add up, but that's what their claim was on the advertisement. But now I have a second charger, and one of the batteries is actually only giving me about 8 minutes charge at best, and that's really giving it a lot of credit. So for those of you out there that were wondering why this isn't done yet, and I do have a side grinder. I went out and bought an extension cord for her, and I already had an extension cord, but it wasn't quite long enough. I couldn't quite get the one attachment, well, not couldn't quite, I could not, with the tools and strength and know-how available to me at this juncture of time, remove the other thing. I do have power to that device. It runs really good. It's a very large side grinder. It weighs about 40 pounds. I would have been zipped to this in about 3 hours yesterday. I dug to all my resources. I asked other people. One guy had wrenches large enough, but they weren't slim enough to fit through there. Now for my tools, what I would do is I would take and sacrifice that one wrench. Maybe at that size, I guess would be a $12 wrench, and I would put it on the grinder, and I would make it slim enough to fit through the passage where I need it to do this, because that $12 wrench should not be a barrier to a $1,200 scrapping project. And in actuality, this is more than $1,200 scrapping project, because those mirrors I can use on this truck. I need one, and I actually would like to have 3. I like this little round mirror on there. I want to have that on the bottom for my driver's side. It's a convex mirror. I don't know, maybe I should have that on the passenger side. That's more of a blind spot. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. And I think it would just look better to have the third mirror on both sides to show how cautious of a driver I am. But I would only have 1, 2. Yeah, I still have enough. There's 4 there and 3 here. Less. And then I have a spare. I'd keep that in a little box. I have a spare mirror. Right now I'm combating almost freezing rain. I don't mind it. Okay, I think last thing I mentioned was I was dealing with the freezing rain. I've worked for circuses and whatnot when I was in my early 20s, and man, I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I just basically took off one day on my motorcycle and followed the circus. I didn't bring any really clothes with me other than ones on my back. What a fucking idiot. It was warm. I wasn't thinking about, you know, that they would be traveling into places where it was cold while it was warm where I left from. So I ended up working in freezing rain in like a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. And somehow I didn't get sick. I did it for months and months and months. So, not that I'm really worried anything about it. But I do have a jacket on. And I do have a hat on to keep the rain off my head. And the heat in my body. Because 90% of the heat in your body escapes from your head. Most important thing to keep them warm is keeping a cover on your head. Of course, having hair might help. For those of you that don't know me, well, I started thinning out about 25, and then it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna be bald. I'm gonna be bald. So I've shaved my head ever since then. I had glorious hair. I had hair down halfway down my fucking back, man. When I was 14, I looked like Ralph Macchio. Before Ralph Macchio, I even thought about that shit. In hindsight, it's really weird. I thought the Karate Kid was older than me. I'm older than him by 2 years. But when I was watching the movie as a kid, I thought he was older than me. The miracles of Hollywood. But I do digress. I want to sit here and wait for the battery. Actually, I have a trash run here in a little bit. And I'm going to go to the transfer station and clean out the back of this truck so I can start putting this aluminum in here. You can see this is not in 4-foot sections as they would like to put on their small scale. They like it in 4-foot sections because that's the only way it really fits on their scales. And plus, I guess I don't want their people to hurt their back. I mean, I don't blame them on that one. Anyhow, I'm just killing time before my first battery check. I'm going to see if they're even charging yet before I leave, which gives me approximately an hour before I have to be back for another cutting session. Transfer station's on the other town, about 20 minutes away. Don't know if there's a line or not on a early Monday morning. And I don't think it's going to take more than 10 minutes to clean this out. So I'll be back within 50 minutes, hopefully, barring any traffic. Anywho, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for shopping. Hey, Lori, if you're ever here. Aaron's probably dead. So, please don't forget to like or unlike and subscribe. Thanks a lot, and I hope that you don't let days like this get you down, because you know what, I sure don't. All these beautiful trees and grass needs rain to grow, and rain makes food, which makes surplus, which makes our wonderful economy happen. Bye.